My name is Michael Wald, founder of Modular Agency. I'm here in Bangkok, one of my favorite cities in the world, and I've been coming here since 2006. But now we're here to meet the brightest upcoming minds and exploring how this city is fueling the global tech ecosystem running on AI. This is Tech in Motion, TukTuk Edition. All right, Michael here, back at Tech in Motion, Bangkok. I'm here with Daniel Appleby from School.How, as it says on the shirt. And so Daniel, I want to know about what you do, what you're doing out here in Bangkok, and what's special about your business.
Yeah, so I think the fundamental issue is education globally is so expensive. If you don't live close to a school, if you don't live close to a good academy of teachers, it can be hard to get access to that same standard of education that other people do. So what we're doing at School.How is to bring high quality, accessible learning to people, not just across Thailand, but also across Asia. And by doing kind of combination of excellent courses, fantastic teachers, and trying to make it fun. If you want to learn English, if you want to learn coding, if you want to learn cooking, for example, then you can join School.How and start learning. We want learning to be a lifelong requirement. We don't want people just to finish school 2021 and think, okay, yeah, that's me finished. We want to try and change the mentality around learning. So it's something that you're constantly doing all of the time.
Where has most of the traction been with what kind of people or demographic? What kind of courses?
Yeah, it's a great question. We, of course, are here, launching the Tech Source Academy as well, putting a lot of emphasis on people learning about entrepreneurship. So we have seen a lot of good enthusiasm of people wanting to learn how to build a business, learn about financial literacy, courses that are not covered well in conventional education, effectively. And we do that by integrating a very case method basis, giving people real life examples, giving people actual names that they recognize, case studies that they recognize. Also, English, of course, is a huge market for us. We've seen decades and decades of physical English schools across Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, and more. But people are still behind on average in terms of English learning. And you have to ask the question, why is that? And there's a huge kind of socio-economic gap that we're looking to solve by giving people access to on-demand, synchronous and asynchronous learning methods. So I would say, yeah, entrepreneurs, English learners, and people who want to have that curiosity to learn something new and maybe change their professional life into a new domain as well.
Is this a subscription-based business or how does the business model work?
Yeah, fully subscription, a bit like Netflix, more fun than Netflix, depending upon what you're watching on Netflix, of course. So you can subscribe anytime, cancel anytime, super flexible, and really meeting the needs of the modern learner, not just Gen Z, but how people are familiar with subscription with Amazon or such.
I used to see the ads for Masterclass all the time on social media. Suddenly they just kind of fizzled out or they don't show up anymore. What is the state of online learning in 2025?
So the challenge with online learning is there's a lot of courses, there's a lot going on. You've got Masterclass, which is bringing experts and talking at the audience, effectively on demand. There isn't that live interaction with the learner. You've got Coursera, Udemy, which are fantastic courses, fantastic repositories of information. But the challenge is people are not learning them. People are not using them, engaging with them, actually completing them for anything other than a certificate at the end. It's a very disparate, spread out ecosystem, and what we're trying to do is to actually put courses into the hands of people who can learn, can benefit and develop their skills. Of course they'll receive a certificate at the end. We want people to have that shareable accreditation to validate their skills, but it's important that they actually want to learn and want to log in. And I think if you look at Duolingo, they've kind of mastered the other part of that, right? So it's people want to use Duolingo, it's fun, but the question is, can you actually use Duolingo to master a language? And that's of course what we're trying to find out now.
And where are you in the startup journey? Do you already have traction, or are you getting ready to launch right now?
So when you're trying to build a school from scratch, there are three mechanisms. There's the school accreditation, there's the technology, and then there's the academic content. So over the past year, we've achieved all of those things now. We have our students signing up every single day, both in terms of the academic curriculum and also the skills curriculum that we've touched upon. So it's still relatively early days, but we're now at the point where we're generating revenue, where we have people learning, giving us some good feedback and having fun while they do it as well.
And how do you do your marketing? How do you find your students?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm not quite sure we've mastered that just yet. And so, in today's society, there's a lot of new types of marketing that people engage with, that people learn from, this whole like TikTok influencer marketing. I like to think of myself as quite young. I have no idea or understand. So I'm still getting a lot of good feedback from my younger relatives who know a lot about that. Because we're covering such a spectrum of ages, there's not a one size fits all. We need people who are relatable to the audience, the younger audience, and also we need to use like conferences, social media, LinkedIn, and typical paid ads to try and target the more conventional, older customer as well.
So I want to know more about your story. How did you end up in Thailand, and what brought you to School.How, and how did you guys get this going?
So I'm originally from the north of England. I went to a school that was not really the best. We have this catchment area thing where if you live close to a good school, fantastic. If not, then you go to the bad school, unless you can afford private education, of course. Went into finance, worked in investment banking, but always had an idea of using technology to close educational attainment gaps. Bangkok was a little bit caught before the horse. Thailand is an incredible country, friendly people, very diverse ecosystem, and a lot of innovation and enthusiasm for new technology, in particular within education. So the stars aligned a few years ago. I was invited to do a talk at the BET Asia conference, decided that I wanted, Thailand to be part of my home in the future, and then also was able to connect with, Kumimi and the TechSource team, the deeper team, to work at a very formalized level to bring quality international education to Thailand in a way that's really achieving my personal mission of closing learning gaps.
I've spent a little bit of time in Thailand, and I know that once you leave Bangkok, it can get very rural. Education out there is not at the standard that where it should be. And so I think it's a really honorable business that you're doing, especially if you can solve that problem. Is School.How more for like the entrepreneurs, or are there programs for accessing those rural communities?
Our English program is a fantastic example of how we're bringing high quality English for less than, say, 400 baht a month on demand to people across the rural communities in a way that is relatable to them, right? And one of the challenges now is you have these great English courses online, but they don't resemble, or they're not relatable to learners if you're outside of Bangkok, or even if you're in Bangkok, if you're doing an international program. So we want to bring that educational context to the learner rather than expecting the learner to come to us.
Right, because if they just sign up for the IELTS course or something, there's no context for them to start learning.
That's exactly right, yeah. So with our IELTS English program, we have of course, the Cambridge-accredited course. It matches the Cambridge standards. We are a Cambridge international school, but we want to adapt it in a way which is relatable for the local regions, and also not just here in Thailand, but also across different Asian countries as well. The Thai people are so friendly, welcoming. The ecosystem for entrepreneurs and people who want to build businesses in Thailand, I think is really at an upwards momentum trend. There's our public and private reasons for that as well. But we'll see, it's a year down. I first came to Thailand 4 years ago now, or 3 years ago. So, who knows? But yeah, so far so good.
So north of England, not much spicy food going on over there. How are you with that?
Not a lot of spicy foods. Not adapting particularly well, actually, I'd say. It's work in progress. I'm a year down into Thailand. There's two things I struggle with: spicy food and the humidity.
I've always said that I can eat spicy food, and then I show up in Thailand, and then it goes out the window.
It's a humbling experience.
Another level.
Especially up in Isan. There's like different tiers of Thai food, Thai spice, and I think I'm still very much at the beginner tier.
You kind of have the look of someone who's probably going to spend a lot of time in Thailand, like a lifer potentially.
Let's see.
Am I accurate there?
I think so, yeah, I think so.